muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Hi, this is Connor with Joe's Ag Supply, along with Proseed and Golden Harvest. We are proudly celebrating National Ag Week. Join us in saluting and thanking the farming families that keep the ag industry going, and contact the team at Joe's Ag Supply for your upcoming supplies for the 2024 growing season. We are proudly celebrating National Ag Week. Joe's Ag Supply is your local full-service ag team, here to help you with 2 locations to better serve you in Havana and Lidgerwood.
Weather and Ag in Focus on WDAY Radio.
And welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for joining us on this Monday. It is the 18th of March, 106 right now, and temperatures outside are 32 degrees, looking at partly cloudy skies with some upper-level clouds funneling into the area. We got a rundown on the forecast coming up during the show today, as well as a bunch of ag topics, a great guest, and even a new little thing we're going to be doing, kicking off the next 4 weeks. So fun things to disclose over the next hour. I'm meteorologist Justin Storm. Ag Director Bridgette Readel is with me, as well as Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki. And guys, welcome back. We made it back to another week. How was your weekend?
Dandy, thanks.
Dandy.
And it was green.
It was green. Oh, it was St. Patty's Day, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Aye.
Well.
Aye.
Arr, matey.
I don't even know what that's from.
Arr, matey.
That's the thing that frightens me. Is I have no idea when I said that.
When did Bridgette say that?
There'll be a check of the archives for that one.
That might be a good check.
Good weekend. Got a little cool little flurries on Sunday. I think there were some folks that were taken by surprise about that. But overall, we're still enjoying the abundance of great weather this time of year.
Don't get used to it.
Why is that?
I'm traveling.
That's
Stop
why.
it.
You need to stay home. You need to stay home, Bridgette.
Bridgette, you're saying you're traveling and there's another storm?
Let's be shocked, shall we?
Man.
An unexplained phenomenon. When you see radar tracings, ground-based
I don't know if I would
reports,
say it's an
something going on
unexplained
here.
phenomena, but I would say that it definitely ties together.
There's definitely something going on here, though.
And we will probably be able to take that a little more in depth on Wednesday when we have our
that's
our
coming
weather
up.
special. So yes.
Did you get any of the prep done for that yet?
Partially. I worked on a little. I worked on a little
Nah,
bit.
I'm only
I
teasing.
worked on a little bit over the weekend, but
Yeah, I haven't done any of it.
yeah,
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Gonna be a great special.
Yeah,
no,
it's
gonna be great.
We're gonna we'll go over, and again, mark your calendars. That's Wednesday, 2 p.m. on the Jay Thomas Show, following Weather and Ag in Focus here. Invite your friends if you want. Send your questions in via email early. Weather@flagfamily.com, or if you have any ag questions, ag@flagfamily.com. We'll be going over what the spring and summer holds. We'll be going over key dates like WeFest. We'll be going over Memorial Day, 4th of July,
Double O.
Red River Valley Fair. What else?
All of them.
Yeah. So we'll be going over key dates, and if you have any dates or any questions, just feel free to. We love when you call in, and
Yes.
will chemtrails play a big part in the spring and summer,
Please
will the spraying stop and we have abundant moisture? I mean,
I'd
there's
rather
all
talk
sorts of
about real
questions.
spraying, like a field. Like, when are we going to plant? When's the last time there's going to be a frost, you guys?
So
We'll hit on all of that
Focus.
stuff.
I texted you coming back from Omaha.
You did.
After I dropped Bentley off, and I said, "Am I seeing things, or is there a farmer out there tilling his field in Hankinson?"
There likely was. Now, sometimes there's just I wanted to be first and say I could do it this time of year. Okay, so that's one.
Right.
We have planted wheat this time of year in the past.
Okay.
So I would not be utterly surprised that happened. Soil temps are still fairly cold. I would not love the fact that we are doing that. You guys are all talking about snow coming, which is great for our soil moisture right now. But wheat does well when it gets snow on it. It's usually better if the wheat's even up a little bit and then you got that insulating snow. But it could still be
interesting.
happening. I had several folks from further south, Iowa, Illinois, et cetera, who've said they've been already starting to do fertilizer.
Wow.
You know, they've done some
Cool.
quite a bit of spreading. So we'll see what it looks like.
Interesting. Well, it'll be interesting when we time out these this storm coming through here towards the weekend. That's our Christmas storm. So it is going, isn't it? Yes.
Yes.
It is, yeah.
No, I said, not no.
So it'll be interesting. It is going to drop a lot of snow somewhere. The question is, will it be over our area? Most of the models favoring areas just to our south.
Let me just get my calendar out.
Yeah, right.
Well, we ask Bridgette where she's traveling to instead.
When that comes back in 45 days, we're approaching severe weather season by then, and that will be an interesting one to watch.
Which we've already had. If 2 years ago we had derechos in May in South Dakota, because I had literally just gotten through Sioux Falls and was in Omaha when I got phone calls from the folks I'd stopped to see saying, "You left," and there was a huge storm.
Look what she leaves behind.
That was not on me. That was a completely big incident or surprise coincidence. There you go. That was not mine. Just so you're aware. But
you sure? Can you prove it?
Maybe. So you want to give the details of what's going to happen this week? Because yes, I am on the road a couple of days. I'd like to not get snowed in somewhere for a change.
Well, the next couple of days look okay. I mean, today we're looking at temperatures currently in the 20s in the valley area, upper 20s to low 30s, and then warmer weather out to the west. That warmer weather is spreading eastward, so we should be able to warm up today close to 40. A little cooler in Lakes Country, a little warmer out to our west. Down into the 20s tonight, breezy conditions out of the northwest as a cold front swings through, and a breezy cooler day tomorrow, but still above normal, mid to upper 30s. With a northwest wind of 15 to 30. Then we're in the upper 20s on Wednesday, and then a clipper system comes our way as we head into Thursday. Now, we're not looking at a lot of snow here in the FM area. This is mainly a 94 and south event, so if you're going north, areas up around Grand Forks, probably not going to see much at all. But from 94 corridor southward, 1 to 2 inches. Once you get into South Dakota and areas down into southern Minnesota, they could be picking up 3 to 6 inches of snow out of this. And then we'll see a break Friday into early Saturday, and then Saturday night into Sunday, a bigger system comes into the northern and central plains, and most of the models focusing the heaviest snow with that also down to our south and out to our west. So we're close enough. Again, the northern valley might not get squat, and we're right on that fence line where we could be getting significant snow or really not much at all, where the majority of it goes to the south. If it goes to the south, bad news for us in terms of precip. We need the moisture, but good news for drought-stricken areas down to our south. They've been very dry over the last 40 days, so that will help them out quite a bit.
It will. And I don't mind us seeing a little bit more moisture because we just announced last week that here we grow 2024. Our team is going to be raising 20 acres of corn. Will be custom farming. We announced our farmer cooperator. That will be Trygve Skolnes. I've had some folks ask if I made that name up. I did not. Trygve is very Norwegian. A lot of Norwegian descent involved in his name. His son Parker, who is also one of our sounders, Justin.
Where's my rain, Dean?
That guy will be saying it all summer long as one of our cooperators, and additionally, son-in-law Justin Magnuson. So 20 acres of corn. Follow along as we do this. We've got some great plans and ready to go. And at the end, we have a charity.
Sweet. Did we put out the video yet?
I don't think the video's out yet.
Okay.
We can check. I don't think it is.
It'll be up soon.
Okay.
Maybe next week.
And charity-wise, when we get to the end, our profits will be going to Farm Rescue. For those who are unfamiliar with Farm Rescue, they are a North Dakota-based organization started by Bill Gross of Jamestown. Bill had been a pilot for FedEx for many years and was a farm kid at heart and said, when I get done with this and I retire, I want to do something cool for farmers. So he began what literally was a service to just help farmers who may have been in the local area who'd been ill or injured and needed help, whether it was with planting, haying season, or combining. It's now grown to cover 8 states. I think they're pushing 850 farmers that have been helped, whether, again, it's been through injury or illness. You don't just get the help showing up. You have to apply. There are some things that you as a farmer have to provide. That way include fuel, seed if they're planting, etc. But we have a lot of generous donations that come from area businesses such as RDO bringing in equipment and more. So I look forward to the time we get to visit with Farm Rescue, hear about some of the stories of folks that they've helped. There have been quite a few.
Should be a very fun project, and we'll get to make some into whiskey too.
That is our hope.
Hopefully.
Justin wants to spend some time under the grain cart spout so he can fill his little 5-gallon buckets with whiskey or with corn so he can make whiskey.
That too.
So that is our hope. We would actually have our own specially labeled whiskey coming off that field at the end.
You got to get a little farm so that way I can throw a little name on it called Stormy Acres.
Ooh, I like that.
Is that great?
That actually would be good.
It wouldn't be quite as good as Green Acres, but
my
Stormy
little
Acres would work.
My little garden, that's what we call it, is Stormy Acres. It's just a little 14 by 12-foot garden, but
Stormy quarter acre.
yeah, there we go. Point 1 acre.
Well, mine is just a little bit more boring than that, but nonetheless, there's a lot of good things that come out of those gardens. Welcome to National Ag Week, gentlemen. Tomorrow, National Ag Day. Feel free to bring me gifts and prizes.
Sure.
Anytime.
We'll get you another one of those crazy corn shirts.
I like my crazy
I
corn
know.
shirts.
We'll just find something else.
And hopefully all of the comments we made while wearing my corn shirt show up in the bloopers somewhere on YouTube.
I hope they
Sure
make
they
it
will.
into the video. Well, hey, you want to be a part of the conversation today, ask some questions, feel free to give us a call on the Red Wing Shoes shoe line. That's 701-293-9000. We'll get you right in contact with us here in the studio. Emails to the program are weatherorag@flagfamily.com, as well as those live comment boxes available on Facebook and YouTube Live. That stream also available on Acres TV. Coming up on the program, we got a couple of fun guests that'll be joining us.
We do.
And that's going to be the shark farmer, correct?
Yeah, this is Rob and Emily Shark Farmer. They are Sharkey is their
Sharkey.
last name.
They raise sharks?
Yeah, shark
you know,
farming.
sharks in Illinois. You had no idea, right?
Oh, there's a lot of sharks. Yeah, they're mainly in the city.
Oh, government, actually.
I
Yes.
thought they were in the river.
So Rob and Emily Sharkey are going to join us. They are farmers from Illinois, right outside Bradford. I hope I got that part right. We got lots of things to talk about when it comes to what they do, not only with their farm, but with social media and connecting with those who are off farm. You know, like you guys. And I was going to say we had a caller, but no, that was just those murder chickens going by, and they were so loud we could pick them up on our mics.
They messed me up. I was like, what is going on? I had to stop talking. Oh, yeah, they're stupid geese flying right next to the window.
Okay, we're going to get organized over the break. We will be right back, and we'll be joined by Rob and Emily Sharkey of Illinois. Stay tuned.
Cattle futures remain higher as we look to wrap up Monday trade. You're listening to the American Ag Network. of Jesse Allen with this market update. Well, the livestock complex is off to a strong start here this week as we see live and feeder cattle futures soaring as we near the close on Monday, while the hog market also doing okay, moderate strength, kind of mixed activity there in hogs. New show lists appear to be mixed, higher in Texas, but lower in Kansas and Nebraska, Colorado here today. Feeder cattle are trading substantially higher as we are getting to the close. The market being far enough away from immediate resistance, traders have only seen a green light through Monday's trade as the live cattle complex also lending support. Don't be surprised if this feeder cattle market faces some pushback later this week. However, we have another cattle on feeder board that's going to come out here on Friday, and higher placements are fully expected in that report. And we want you to see Packers will probably try to use that as a bearish factor for the immediate market here as well this week. Last week, Northern dress cattle traded 294 to 301, with also Southern live cattle 181 to mostly 186. Box beef prices higher at midday. Choice up $1.43, $313.33, and select up $1.40 at $303.80 on the day on Monday. On the hog side, the market following the cattle complex for the most part. Midday pork cutout values are up considerably as well, which has helped propel the market. Speaking of that pork cutout value, up $1.76 at $95.23. We look over at hog prices and trends, Dorchester, Wisconsin, and Garterville, Iowa markets here on Monday. We see $2 higher in both locations. Barrows and gilts at 60 in both locations. You're listening to the American Ag Network.
Challenge. It's not something you shy from. It's a chance to up your game. Every day brings a new challenge, but with the enhanced Channel Seed brand on your side, you can rise to it. With our top-performing seed, innovative digital tools, and expanded agronomic support, you can turn tomorrow's challenges into your next advantage. Your enhanced Channel Seed brand. Let's rise to the challenge. Learn more at channel.com/rise. Read and follow pesticide label directions, IRM, grain marketing, and other stewardship practices.
Dan And we're back looking at another lopsided matchup, Jim. Today we have a combine taking on a train.
Yeah, that heavy train is about 1,000 times heavier than the combine. No competition there.
Right, especially given that it'll take at least a mile to stop that train.
That's 18 football fields.
It's no contest. Every day, people are injured or killed trying to beat a train at rail crossings. See tracks, think train.
This message brought to you by Operation Lifesaver.
Lows April live cattle up 135, 188.60. March feeders up 177, 250.105. April hogs down a nickel, 86.87. This is the American Ag Network.
Weather and Ag in Focus on WDAY Radio.
Welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thank you for joining us. And I had a couple of folks who sent messages. That's why I'm going to need a sponsor for this phone.
You got to get that phone sponsored. Come on, folks. Wide open invitation.
Josh said there is already wheat that was planted a week ago down by Wapenen, so it really is in the ground. Dean, you're not just imagining things.
Right, I wasn't seeing things.
I'm glad to see. And Raleigh wanted to point out he thought that Bill Gross, the guy who started Farm Rescue, may have been a UPS pilot, not a FedEx. So Raleigh will be on that. But he did ask a great question. All right. How do we visualize an acre, gentlemen? How big is an acre? What's it comparable to?
Depends on the boat.
No. Not even close.
Yeah, no.
No.
Oh, Lord.
It's a football field. So we're raising 20 football fields.
Arr, matey.
Stop it. Okay, so moving on, I want to introduce our guests today, and that would be Rob and Emily Sharkey. They are joining us from Bradford, Illinois. They are not only farmers, they are the parents of 4 children and a social media empire, if you will. So, Rob and Emily, how are you today?
Good to talk to you.
We're great. Thanks for having us.
Fabulous to see you guys. And I will say that Rob and Emily are great friends of mine, and I appreciate the fact that they are willing to take the time to visit. So behave.
I mean, great. That's one adjective. I don't
know. We'll try to make it good. Oh, so you laughed when I said social media empire, but for those of you who are new, they have a podcast, XM radio show, RFD TV show. They do public television. Then I think the other show is separate, the one that's on Ruco TV. And then also they do several keynote speaking events.
When do you sleep?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, everybody's busy, so we just try to do our part.
Yeah. And you do that in a tremendous way. So I think about half of our audience has no idea who y'all are. They just don't have that connection to the farm. So do you want to start with just introducing yourselves from your point of view?
Sure. I'm a 5th generation farmer. Met my wife when we were 16 years old at a 4-H dance. And after college, we got married, came back to the farm. And I don't know, kind of messed around with a whole bunch of successes and failures. But in June of 2016, we started a podcast, Shark Farmer Podcast, and that kind of led into the other side of the media. So now we're kind of a split operation, or half media business and half farming.
Now, for those, Rob, that aren't familiar, what exactly do you do on your podcasts and the other media outlets that you're doing?
Well, the podcast was basically just talking to other people in agriculture, not just farmers, but like seed salesmen, crop insurance salesmen. It was definitely, though, inside the ag bubble. It was a business-to-business podcast, but we were talking more about their real life and not so much about, just farming. Because in 2016, it was really just, we had the weather, you had the markets, and you didn't really get into a whole lot more. When we started the podcast, we started to delve into those personal stories. Ruffled a few feathers, but it seemed to work.
Yeah, you changed the conversation a little bit. When you first started the podcast, you thought it was going to be about hunting, because we have an outfitter too. And if you weren't there in hunt camp, that half hour is a painful half an hour. Yeah. But then the other 2 that he launched was about farmers and just getting the inside scoop just from everyday farmers, not like presidents of anything. Like presidents of groups. It was just people like us that just farmed however many generations, or sometimes 1st generation farmers, and just to tell their story where they'd never had a chance to tell it before. So was super cool. It just kind of snowballed.
So, Emily, when all of this started and Rob said, I'm going to start a little podcast, we'll see how it goes. Were you surprised when it changed? Did you do this a little bit kicking and screaming, like, we're going to do another thing? We've done, like, we don't have enough going on?
Yes, actually, when he started it, I saw him. He took this little corner of our bedroom and he set up this little blue snowball microphone and he put pillows around it. And I thought, oh, this is going to be a fun hobby, right? And I just kind of laughed about it. And every single one he put out, I downloaded and I listened to. And it was so funny because when he first started, people didn't know what podcasts were. So we had to learn how to download a podcast. There were no ag podcasts. And so I listened to each one and it was so neat. It was just hearing.
Oh, come on.
It was
no, this is not how. This is not how it went at all.
Oh, no, he's calling me out.
Because, Bridgette, you remember when podcasts first came out, it was novel because you could cuss. Right?
Yes, it was like satellite radio. Nobody was listening to it in the car with their kids. Now they do.
Yeah. So she was very against the cussing, and we've probably had a real yelling fight in our life 3 times, and that was one of them.
Oh my goodness, we were stuck in a traffic jam.
Yeah.
And I mean, in retrospect, that probably wasn't the greatest time for me to bring up what I didn't like on his podcast. But that was it. I'm like, okay, if we ever want to get sponsors or ever have advertisers, you cannot drop the F-bomb.
Yeah.
And, kids in the background, I can't tell my friends at church to go listen to the podcast. That locker room talk.
This is just the way it was, except the volume was higher and more aggressive.
Trapped in a car, yelling at each other. Okay, so when you said that about how are we ever going to get sponsors, was that the point where you went, hold on, this might actually be a financial thing? Or before, had that really crossed your mind?
Yeah, not for me. No, I was just playing. I'm a very creative person. All right. I know what I am. I'm funny and creative, but the business side of it, no, I was just doing it to do it. And Emily stepped in and really made a business of it and started monetizing it, started talking to sponsors, getting that lined up. So yeah, if it was left up to me, it would still be just like an audience of about 15 people that thought it was hilarious.
So when you say creative, how many of those aha moments have happened while you're in the tractor? And you just went, wow, this could be a great idea. What if I get this person as a guest, or if I take this tactic with a video?
Maybe a few more over margaritas.
Yeah. Because you never drink in a tractor cab.
Huh.
Never.
That's a new rule.
Literally.
At least you just don't say that you do.
Come up with a guest. People just kind of pop up. We've never had problems getting guests. I mean, it's where we first met Bridgette. We had her on. She did a fantastic job, and now she's like the queen of media out there.
She carries our show.
That's been obvious, yeah.
Oh, this is going to be fun. I want to run the Sounders today.
Then we're in big trouble.
So the social media is one part of the lives. The farm is the other. So I want to ask Emily this. Which one do you think you're enjoying more right now, farming or social media?
Oh my goodness. I think the social media part. I'm a traveler. I love to travel and I love to meet people and I love to hear their stories. And I think that's the part I enjoy the most. Although as a mom, I'll have to say, our kids are 6th generation on the farm, and seeing, our oldest William back on the farm, helping Rob and learning from each other. Rob kind of drags Rob kicking and screaming with technology sometimes. And seeing them farm together is really, really neat. And our youngest is on spring break this week. And so he's helping on the farm. And so that warms a mom's heart for sure.
You guys need some cattle. Spring break for the rest of us meant everybody got kicked and dirty. So I wish you the best. You should just get some cows for that. It's a lot of fun. All right.
We're good. We're good on livestock.
It is 1:29 in the afternoon. We will be right back. We'll continue our conversation with Rob and Emily Sharkey. They are with Shark Farmer Media out of Bradford, Illinois. Hang tight. We'll be right back.
Do you love working on cars but don't love your current job? If so, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Matthew Carlson, owner of Fix It Forward Auto Care. We're a family-owned full-service auto repair shop looking to hire skilled automotive technicians. With our state-of-the-art shops, great work environment with competitive pay and benefits, you'll enjoy a great job with a bigger purpose and a lot of opportunity for advancement. Visit FixItForwardAutoCare.com to apply. Fix It Forward Auto Care, the name you trust for car repair.
Fix It Forward Auto Care.
Hey, it's Will. Whether you're itching for a career change or just graduated high school, listen up. Morton Buildings is hiring, and it's a game changer. I'm 23, found a gig with a nationally recognized brand, loving what I do and making bank. Morton not only pays an impressive wage, but get this, bad weather pay up to 100 hours. Quarterly bonuses, and last year, I scored a trip to Jamaica just for putting in the hours and being safe on the job. Why settle? Go to mortonbuildings.com/careers now and kickstart a career that's not only great, it's awesome.
Good afternoon, I'm Tom Tucker, WDAY News First. A suspect is in custody and another is being sought after a stabbing late last week. The Fargo Police Department says 21-year-old Alicia Flores and an additional unnamed suspect were involved in the stabbing of a man in the 600 block of NP Avenue on March 9th. Police say Flores was identified using surveillance footage. He was charged with accomplice to robbery and accomplice to aggravated assault. Police say they're working to identify the second suspect. Firefighters rescued a woman from the Red River. A passerby on Saturday spotted what he thought was a body in the river near Covenant Landing, just off 52nd Avenue South. Firefighters arrived and pulled the woman from the water. She was conscious when taken to the hospital. It's unclear how the woman ended up in the river. Police are investigating. North Dakota congressional candidate Julie Fedorchak is weighing in on the race for governor.
They both have great qualifications, great skills, great background, great experience. I have a long friendship with Kelly. I am seeking to work with him in the transition to Congress. So if I had to lean one way right now, it would be towards Kelly.
Kelly Armstrong is currently serving in the House seat that Fedorchak is seeking. Tom Tucker, WDAY, and WDAYRadioNow.com.
Jay Thomas has a brand new show, The Common Sense Club with Jay Thomas, Scott Hennon, and Steve Hallstrom.
This really worries me when the government's going to start saying, we don't like your business, we don't like who you're tied to.
You're forgetting an important component in this, though, and that's Chinese ownership.
I get that, Scott. I get that, and I understand that. But again, do you want the government now deciding where we're going to get our information from?
The Common Sense Club. Subscribe today at flagfamily.com/plus.
Theraldson Ethanol invites you to trade in your job for a career. Just west of Castleton sits one of the nation's largest ethanol facilities, a 170 million gallon per year ethanol plant. Come join a work family of dedicated team members helping North Dakota lead the energy revolution. Pay starting at $75,000 to $80,000 per year, plus benefits, bonuses, incentives, and more. If your job is just a job, trade it in for a career at Theraldson Ethanol. Apply online right now at theraldsonethanol.com.
Attention farmers! Are unexpected breakdowns leaving you stranded in the field? Don't let downtime hinder your harvest. Advanced Diesel Repair is your trusted partner in getting you back in action fast. Their technicians specialize in swift diagnostics and top-notch repairs, ensuring your diesel equipment is up and running in no time. With Advanced Diesel Repair, you can count on reliable service and minimal disruptions to your farming operation. Advanced Diesel Repair, conveniently located off the I-94 Wild Rice exit and online at adrofhorace.com.
This is Weather and Ag in Focus with Bridgette Readel, Justin Storm, and Dean Wysocki.
Just so you know, was in Bismarck this weekend and was told, what is with that goat? That compliments of my 83-year-old
That's
aunt.
the mascot of the show.
Okay.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
But Rob and Emily will find it funny. They only have to do satellite radio, so during our break, they were like, commercials? What is this about? How unusual.
Oh, man.
All right, Dean, you wanted to talk.
Yeah, so Rob, farming down in, I'm I grew up in Illinois, and I know farming is obviously huge down there. How has it been in terms of weather over the last couple of years?
I'd say the last couple of years have been fairly mild. We were going through it seems like that 2012 to 2017, 18, we're getting these odd, big rain events, things like that. It seems like it's been fairly mild. Now, we did have the drought last year in June, but we also raised the best crop we've ever had, too.
Wow. Okay.
And you can get real exciting in Illinois and not only plant corn and soybeans, but maybe a little more corn.
Yeah.
That's
for sure.
I thought they were doing pumpkins down there too, weren't they?
It could be really crazy.
I don't
and
get
do
the
wheat.
joke.
Yeah, if you could get super crazy and do wheat, which we got in the ground. And Justin's right. There are some folks south of you that have pumpkins. So actually, your ag in Illinois is maybe a little bit more diverse than I give you credit for.
No.
No.
Fair statement. So one of the things that you do extremely well with all of your connections, whether it's through farming, whether it's the media that you do, is connecting with those who are non-farm. And what do you think have you had some major breakthroughs in doing that? Anything that comes to mind when you go, that was a great moment?
We do try that on a couple different platforms. I think probably the one that most people see is on our show on RFD, where we go out on the streets of Nashville, because that's where we film the show. And, we show a picture of like a combine, and they think it's like a spaceship and things like that. Or just kind of the general questions of, what do you think are in those grain bins when you're going down the road? And it's funny, people think it's full of water or milk or things like that. When we started this, Emily was like, we can do this, but you cannot make fun of people. You can't make fun of them. That's incredibly difficult, but at the same time, it's just the education. It's more to show us in agriculture that we have not done a good enough job of showing what we do and the general public knowing it.
Oh, absolutely. And I get very similar questions and comments where you're right. You're thinking, how did you not know that? But I also am not a rocket scientist, so the things that they talk about make no sense to me. We're all in our own different little worlds, you might say. And when you think about those things, those connections, and that not being able to make fun of people, Emily, have you ever taken the microphone away from him so he couldn't do it?
Well, yes, I almost did one time when somebody said that a hay rake was a lawn ornament.
A weed tickler.
A weed tickler and a lawn ornament. Oh my gosh, that was hilarious. And somebody asked one time when we were talking about butchering beef. We asked, where does your beef come from? And they asked how long it would take to grow back on the cow.
I've had that question. Yes. How long does it take for the steaks to grow back? What was your answer?
Yeah.
I remember mine.
About 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we can't do that.
3 months. Man.
I know you guys travel tremendously for all of the things that you do. Have you had some worst wrecks in travel situations? Because they make fun of my travel schedule here all the time, and I have had some very bad ones, but curious about you guys.
Well, it's funny. When we came up to Agronomy on Ice in North Dakota, we flew into Minneapolis, and there was a huge snowstorm. And so they eventually canceled our flight, and we're like, oh no, we're going to Agronomy on Ice. And so we rented a minivan of all things.
Oh boy.
Didn't even have all-wheel drive. And drove the minivan and showed up and made it to Agronomy on Ice on time. But, that was we were white knuckling it a little bit.
We were. Y'all know how to drive. I tell you, the one I remember, we were in Bad Axe, Michigan, which is clear up north. And it was a blizzard, and we're driving to the speech, and I'm white knuckling it and driving 30, and we get there, and pulling up in front of us is literally cars of 80-year-old women getting up and driving. But I'm like, wow, they know how to drive in snow up here.
I mean, we're slippering around in our boots on the ice, and they've got their canes, and they're even thinking anything of it. We're like, oh boy, we're from Illinois for sure.
They have some really great bad hip insurance. So if anything goes wrong, they're completely covered. It's a great place to be. So some folks put you in the category of ag media, and we've had the great fortune. I've asked Max Armstrong to be here with us, Gil Gullickson, who is now the editor-in-chief for the Wallace Farmer magazine. But you're different. How would you say that you're different, or how have you changed up what happens in ag media these days?
We don't even know where we stand. I mean, it was funny once we got on XM, all of a sudden ag businesses did take us more seriously. And honestly, it was like opened a door to actually talk to them about what a podcast can do, what social media can do. But yeah, it seemed like it kind of took that one, like the legit media, before anyone really took us seriously.
I think it was hard for people to talk about the things we were talking about, because I remember when he first started his podcast, he kind of pushed the envelope of, when you're talking to people, right, you're going to talk about all their challenges and all the struggles they've been through and like all the triumphs they've been through. And to hear people's stories, I mean, I remember we got hate mail once, just basically because they thought, why are you talking about alcoholism? Why are you talking to a farmer who's been through that? You're making him look bad. Yeah. You shouldn't talk about that in agriculture. And there were so many times we looked at each other and like, well, we're just going to talk about it. So I think for a while it took a little getting used to of just, when you talk about people's stories, you're going to talk about every topic you can dream of. And, people weren't used to that.
It was actual hate mail too. It was a 7-page handwritten letter.
Oh,
wow. That's how you know you're doing good, is when you get the hate mail coming.
Yeah.
And okay, so when you said that about somebody's alcoholism, maybe some of you will find this odd, but there's alcoholism in every industry, and it's no different in farming, right?
Indeed.
It's real life stuff.
What?
Yeah, shocking. Actually, the first one I listened to that really got me hooked into continuing was with Matt, with his son who worked for a seed company, and the tractor, he was driving in a pickup and the tractor was coming the other direction and lost its steering and literally drove over the vehicle. And he was, let's just say, heavily injured. There's a long story that goes with it, but those are things that happen every single day. That's why we talk about farm safety and more. And Rob and Emily have done a fabulous job of highlighting that. And I say Rob and Emily because for the longest time, everybody wanted to talk to Rob. Now they all want to talk to Emily because she speaks just as much as he does. How's it feel now that you're like the mega media team together?
Well, we're definitely having a lot of fun together. I do love to be a part of things, and it has been fun. I've been off on my own a few times with some women's retreats, and that's empowering because it's so fun to talk to these women who have all these ideas for their farm or businesses and ranches, and they just need that extra push to say, just do it. Try the idea. What's the worst that can happen? You might fail. You might have to pivot. So that's been fun. So I have enjoyed that, but I love to watch him. I love to be the person behind the scenes most of the time, helping find the guests and going to Nashville and traveling and just making the shows happen.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a team effort.
When we built our radio studio, you know how you got the glass in between the board and the talent. She didn't want a microphone on her side because she's like, well, I'm never going to talk.
Oh.
Well, if you've ever heard our show, she's the co-host.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. Are there things that still surprise you when someone calls either as a guest with their story or with an opportunity for you to take on? Was it a surprise when RFD TV wanted to do a show with you? Are there still surprises, do you think?
RFD wasn't, because we went after that. But what was a surprise was the PBS. We didn't know anybody still watched PBS. Bert and Ernie, stuff, Bob Ross.
Happy little things.
But what we're finding is people are canceling, Dish and Direct, and they're putting the old rabbit ears back on the TV, and now they're finding 40 channels and they're watching PBS. And we get more feedback from our PBS show than probably anything else we do. It's great. And that is a non-farming audience for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's been a big challenge, to have to sit down and try to explain all the things, you talk farmerese on everything else, right? And to have to explain to people what things are, but people are generally really, really interested. I mean, the general opinion of farmers is good. And I think farmers sometimes think everybody's kind of looks down on them, but no, what we've found is that no, like people have high opinions of farmers. They just want the story. They want to know where their food comes from so that when they open that bottle of wine or, visit an almond farm or a corn, talk to a corn farmer, they want to know the story. They want to know the family behind it and what it takes to produce that food. And they just generally don't know it's as difficult as it is.
And Rob or Emily, either one of you can answer this. Kind of a two-part question. What is the most difficult subject that you guys have had to talk about, and what is the biggest misconception that the general public has in regards to farming?
Oh gosh, thanks for the easy question.
We only let them talk so often.
They only let me out once a week, so.
Yeah. Funny. Emily wrote down corporate farming. I was thinking of something else. Yeah. We had a gay farmer on years ago, and it's funny. I was kind of worried about how that would go off, and we got a ton of emails, messages, not liking the fact that it wasn't because he was gay; it was because he was a big Trump supporter. I mean, trying to guess
pick your
what's
battles.
going to really upset people. Yeah, the corporate farm things. She gets a lot, people off Instagram. Like the guy we interviewed today was, he's kind of a hippie dippy or whatever. And so I do try to defend agriculture, but you got to be nice to your guests too. So it's nothing you guys wouldn't understand when you're interviewing people. Kind of walking that line between defending agriculture, defending the business that you love, but yet letting an opposite opinion come out.
And I think we're all getting better at letting the opposite opinions come out, because we're finding that, okay, I don't just need to hang around with everybody who's going to be a cheerleader and say the same good things over and over. It's way more fun if I have a Spaces on Twitter and I get to talk about something that's a little bit more wild, because everybody gets into that conversation and it changes. It's so much fun. When you mentioned, explaining things, Emily, and you said, got to remember the farmer ease. And that was why Raleigh asked earlier, okay, let's talk about the size of an acre. I can give you square feet and all that, but it's a football field. And the same thing, I had that question this morning. I mentioned that fall fertilizer, when we did P&K, and one of our hosts, Alex, she said, hey, what's P&K? Oh, good point. Sorry about that. I forgot. I have to explain what that means. So that helped a bit. As we wind down, we've just got a few moments left. For those who don't know you, how can they find you?
Go to our website, sharkfarmer.com. Mm-hmm. It's got Shark Farmer TV on RFD TV. It's got our PBS show on WTVP. You can find all the things there.
And as all the other good shows on Acres TV as well.
Including us. We're on Acres every day as well, along with you guys. You are all way cooler. We just
kind of what I was trying to hint at.
Yeah, we just kind of hang around in the back. Thank you for taking the time. Please have some margaritas on me tonight. I'll Venmo you some cash for that, and that gives you a chance to enjoy your Monday. All right.
Thanks, guys. It's been a lot of fun.
Thanks you.
Thanks, guys.
Coming.
Thank you. And for the rest who are going to be coming back after break, which is all of you, we do have Garden Trivia with Justin because spring is coming.
Oh, hold on. Are they still with us? Are you guys still with us?
Yeah.
Okay. Real quick question. You're from Illinois. I'm an Illinois native. You're kind of right in between. If in terms of baseball, are you Cubs? Are you St. Louis? Or are you White Sox fans?
We're Cardinals. Cardinals. I'm a Cardinals fan.
Yeah,
all right.
Man. Neither of us really care.
Now Dean's Venmoing you money for margaritas. Woo-hoo.
Thanks, guys. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hi, it's Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki. Join me, Meteorologist Justin Storm, and Ag Director Bridgette Readel for our Spring and Summer Outlook Special, Wednesday, March 20th, beginning at 2 p.m. We'll break down when you can expect this summer's biggest storms and more using the LRC weather forecasting model. Our friend and founder of the LRC, Gary Lezak, will join us, plus we'll take your questions and comments. That's the Spring and Summer Outlook Special, Wednesday, March 20th, beginning at 2 p.m. on WDAY Radio, brought to you by Jiffy Lube of Fargo, North Dakota State Services, and Border Plains Ag.
Comfy, it's been 30 years of Comfort King. I remember it like it was yesterday.
Nice hair, Chris.
Just look at you. You were just a baby comfy.
We made all sorts of amazing comfort creations using the highest quality materials. Comfort King invented Float Zero Gravity Gel.
Comfy, we make a great team. How about another 30 years?
Sounds great, Chris.
Comfort King, where sweet dreams and better health await you.
Welcome to Jiffy Lube Multi-Care, where car care just makes sense. Say goodbye to car talk confusion with personalized service reviews that speak straight to you. Our highly trained service technicians have your back, decoding what your car is saying and taking care of the small stuff before it becomes big stuff. From Pennzoil oil changes to tires, brakes, batteries, and more, we've got it all covered. Your car deserves the best, making you ready for whatever's next. Putting you in the driver's seat of car care? That's a job for Jiffy. Jiffy Lube, 1780 South Columbia Road, Grand Forks.
Olivet Lutheran Church in Fargo invites you to join us for worship Sunday mornings at 8:30 and 10:30 and Wednesday evenings at 6. Our theme for Lent this year is Gifted for Mission, where we will reflect on Jesus' Great Commission to tell the story of Jesus' love for all people without exception. Worship with us Sunday mornings at 8:30 and 10:30 and Wednesday evenings at 6. For more information and to watch all of our services online, go to olivet.org. Encounter Jesus, experience grace at Olivet Lutheran Church.
It's about tradition, values, and family ties. Pucklet Chevrolet GMC's tradition of giving back to our community remains a priority, and that's why we've partnered with many local nonprofit organizations and events. And our tradition of giving this community a fair and honest offer continues. This month, save up to $10,102 on a new 23 GMC Sierra 1500 SLT. We're Pucklet Chevrolet GMC in Valley City. GMC, we are professional grade.
See dealer for details and 43024.
Attention farmers! Are unexpected breakdowns leaving you stranded in the field? Don't let downtime hinder your harvest. Advanced Diesel Repair is your trusted partner in getting you back in action fast. Their technicians specialize in swift diagnostics and top-notch repairs, ensuring your diesel equipment is up and running in no time. With Advanced Diesel Repair, you can count on reliable service and minimal disruptions to your farming operation. Advanced Diesel Repair, conveniently located off the I-94 Wild Rice exit and online at adrofhorace.com.
Don't you love an extra $100 in your pocket? Have a TurboTax expert file your taxes for you by March 31st to get $100 back instantly. Because no matter what moves you made last year, TurboTax makes them count. That means getting $100 back and 100% accurate taxes, only from Intuit TurboTax. Must file by 3/31. Credit only applicable to federal filing fees with TurboTax full service. Offer can be modified or terminated at any time.
Weather and Ag in Focus on WDAY Radio.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for rejoining us here on the program. Going to be doing something new here. We're going to be running this promotion for about a month. So for 4 weeks, we're going to be doing daily trivia courtesy, or brought to you, I should say, by Cheyenne Gardens. And, daily. Monday through Friday for 4 weeks.
Tune up your Google fingers, Dean. You got a lot of guessing to do.
Tune up your fingers. We'll be doing garden trivia each and every single day. And if you're the first person to answer the trivia question correct, you will receive a $10 certificate to Cheyenne Gardens that will be valid between April 15th and July 31st. So that's going to be when their greenhouses, I would assume, open up, when they have their product ready to go. April 15th is when you can redeem that. But between now and what would that be, April the 11th, you can win yourself a $10 certificate. And again, that's brought to you by Cheyenne Gardens. So the question for today, maybe the phone number if you don't already know it.
701-293-9000.
That's the Red Wing Shoes
phone line.
shoe line.
The shoe line.
Here's your question for Cheyenne Gardens trivia. What is the most sold flower in the United States?
In the U.S. Okay, can I ask some clarifying questions, or am I going to have to just shut up and wait?
I mean, you could ask.
And you don't have to answer.
This is true.
Is it an annual or a perennial?
It's a flower.
Great. We narrowed that right down.
Really narrowed it down. What is the most common sold flower in the United States?
That was essentially Justin telling me, Bridgette, go pound sand. I'm not telling you.
Sandbox. Hi there, caller. What's your name?
Arden.
Arden, do you think you know the answer?
Roses.
It is not roses. I'm sorry, Arden, but thanks for calling. Hi there, caller. What's your name?
Sandra.
Sandra, do you think you got an answer?
Oh, yeah. Roses.
It is not roses. I'm sorry, but thanks for calling and guessing. Hi there, caller. What's your name?
Hi, my name's Emily.
Emily, do you think you got an answer for me?
I'll try a petunia.
It is not a petunia, but good guess. Thanks for calling.
Should we give a hint?
I was going with petunia.
I would have thought petunia as well. Hi there, Sandra. You got another guess?
I sure do.
What do you got?
Is it petunias?
It is not a petunia. Thanks for guessing, though. Try again. All right.
How about a hint?
We could do a hint. Spring flower.
Annual flower.
Yeah, I mean, it'll come up every year.
and
it's technically a perennial.
And there's a song about it.
And there's a song about
Oh, how pretty.
Hi there, caller. What's your name?
I'm Lindsay.
Lindsay, do you got an answer for what the most common sold flower in the United States is?
I think I want to guess dandelion.
It is not a dandelion. Thanks for calling, though. Try again.
I like where her head was at.
Yes.
That
Hi
was
there,
great.
caller. What's your name? Hi there, caller. What's your name?
Jamie.
Jamie, you got an answer for me?
How about a hydrangea?
It is not a hydrangea, but good guess. Thanks for calling.
Boy, they're tiptoeing around
Man,
it real
they really
close,
are.
aren't they?
Hi there, Emily. What do you think the answer is?
I'll change it to a geranium if that one hasn't been used.
It is not a geranium.
They're
Thank
not getting
you.
these hints, are they? You're tiptoeing around the correct answer.
I'm waiting for the light bulb to go
Hi
off
there,
above
caller.
their
What's
heads.
your name?
Hey, Jason.
Jason, do you got an answer for me on what the most common sold flower in the U.S. is?
Yeah, the rose.
It is not a rose. I'm sorry, Jason, but thanks for guessing. All right, spring flowers comes up every year.
Pretty colors, multiple.
Multiple colors. Hi there, caller. What's your name?
Through them.
My name is Gary.
Gary, what do you think the answer is?
It's a tulip.
It is a tulip. There we go. A tulip is the most sold flower in the United States. Well, hey, Gary, thanks for calling and playing Cheyenne Gardens Trivia with us. Stay on the line. Our producer will get a little bit of information from you, and then you can pick up that certificate that'll be valid on April 15th, anytime between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday.
All right, sounds great.
All right, appreciate it. All right.
All right.
Cool. And again, that was brought to you by Cheyenne Gardens.
That was
They
fabulous.
finally got the clue.
They did.
You can tiptoe through them. All right. Well, real quick recap of the weather. We got some sunny skies out there. It should top out around 40 today with a few high clouds spilling into the area. Cold front swings through tonight, switching our winds to the northwest on the breezy side as we drop off into the 20s. And then a little bit cooler tomorrow, mid to upper 30s, and breezy conditions tomorrow as we head into Wednesday. We'll drop it off a little bit more, upper 20s for highs. And then a clipper system will bring some snow to the area on Thursday. About an inch or two, it looks like. Doesn't look like a big deal, but if you're traveling south, some areas could get some heavier amounts to our south. And then we'll see a break Friday and Saturday, and then Saturday night and Sunday, a larger system will enter the northern plains. Exact track of that storm still a little up in the air, but we'll keep you updated on that. Thank you for joining us today on Weather and Ag in Focus. For Justin, for myself, and Bridgette, we want to thank you. Be sure to tune in tomorrow at 1 o'clock. The Jay Thomas Show is coming up next.